Your players arrive just in time to compete in a little village's fishing contest. With prizes and renown on the line, can your party catch the big one, or will their chances of winning sink to the depths? Welcome to Quick Quest, where I give you ready-to-run, pre-written adventures for your campaign. This is a fun, simple little quest that can be thrown in at any level, though naturally, higher-level players will probably do better in the contest. There's no grand adventures or crazy stakes here, just a fun little sidebar for your party. Without further ado, let's get started. This quest takes place in the sleepy fishing village of Riverbend. If you've seen some of my other quick quests, you might recognize it as the same setting from the phase and fishing video. You don't have to run that first to enjoy this quest, but it's an option. Riverbend is a little hamlet that spans the river, and a lot of its industry is concentrated on fishing. So it makes sense that each year, the village holds a contest to see which of their anglers reign supreme. They fish from sunup to sundown, and whoever brings in the biggest catch is the winner. The entire town is buzzing with excitement when your players arrive, and for a small fee, they can join the fun. The prize? A modest gold reward, beautiful fish-shaped medal, and of course, bragging rights for life. If your players decide to compete in the contest and put their skills up against the best Riverbend has to offer, then you have a quest on your hands. Before the contest, give your players some time to explore the town and try to find an edge in the competition. There are lots of ways you can handle this, but you want to reward your party for putting in a little extra effort if they decide to prepare and not just show up the day of. Here are 3 different ways you can reward their exploration. Their first stop might be the local Anglers Guild, a little building that, despite the industry's importance here, seems a bit run down. Inside is messy and disorganized, with lots of taxidermied fish mounted on the wall. But upon closer inspection, they'll notice that each seems to have been caught by the same person, Radolf, the dwarven gentleman who runs the guild. He is a very smug angler who sees himself as clearly the best in town, and is looking forward to proving it in the contest. The trick is for your party to play into his ego. If they can successfully flatter and charm Radolf, especially if they compliment his record catches, he'll tell them all sorts of tales about where he caught each fish and how he did it, inadvertently telling them the best spots to go during the event. But that's just one way to get info. The second is probably more fun. And that would be at the Bait and Tackle Tavern, a lively little establishment where most of the locals go to relax. Fishing nets hang from the ceiling, paintings of ships and serene lakes decorate the walls, and the whole place is run by a cantankerous old angler known as Old Man Waters. With a big smile and a bigger beard, he'll welcome in the group and begin spinning all sorts of old yarns about his days fishing across the world, from the vast seas to the tiniest streams. If your players indulge the old man in his stories, maybe buying a few drinks as they listen, they can convince him to share what he knows about the river that flows through town. That's the second way they can get information on the best spots to fish and things to look for, which will again grant them an advantage. They'll also find their top competitor here, David, a human man and by most accounts the town's actual best angler. If they played through phase and fishing beforehand, he's one of the missing villagers they would have saved, so they're already acquainted. A less morally good party might find a way to non-lethally take out their biggest competitor. Maybe putting something in his drink to get him sick, or casting a spell on him right before the contest begins. Otherwise, they can trash talk and banter to their heart's delight. But there is one more way they can get an advantage. Within town, right on the bank of the river, there's a shrine dedicated to whatever god best fits your setting. It could be a deity of nature, a river spirit, someone who represents trades or the water, whatever you feel is most appropriate. But if your players seek it out and pray to that entity, they'll be granted a little boon during the competition. With all of their prep out of the way, the day of the contest can arrive, and your players can set out to see what they catch. The contest takes place over an entire day out in the water, and each player who enters will be given a boat and fishing gear, so no worries there. While lots of villagers show up to compete and watch, for our purposes, you only need to roll for Radolf and David. They're the party's main competition. The way it works is simple. Each player who's participating will have 2 chances to catch the biggest fish they can, requiring 2 steps. First, they'll need to try to find a good spot to toss out their line. Then they'll roll to see what they catch. The better they do at finding a spot, the better chance they'll have of landing a big one. For that first part, I was kind of just making this up as I went along when I ran this for my party, so I had them simply roll a survival check, add advantage if they had gotten an edge during their prep, and if they beat a DC of 15, they found a good spot for fishing. With hindsight, I'd probably run it as a skill challenge instead, with a DC of 15. They need 3 successes before getting 3 failures using different skills, whether that's investigation to analyze the flow of the river, nature to pick out spots they think fish would hide in, or perception to literally try and see some big ones swimming around beneath their boat. And I'd give them advantage during the skill challenge once per step of prep they took. Talking to Radolf, listening to Old Man Waters, and praying at the shrine can each grant advantage on a roll. so the more time they invested, the more they're rewarded. Once they've found the perfect place to cast their line, they can roll survival to see what they catch. If they succeeded on their skill challenge, this is at advantage. Fail, and they have disadvantage. The bigger the number, the bigger the fish, and you'll be comparing their scores against their two competitors. For them, simply roll a d20 and add +4 for Radoff and +6 for David. That's it. Then the process repeats. They have to find a new fishing spot and make another roll to see if they hook anything good. Radoff and David get 2 tries at it too. When both rolls are said and done, both they and your players take whichever one was higher as their best catch. And that's the contest. You can narrate the anglers all returning one by one, describing the size of their biggest fish based on how high they rolled. If you have a tie, then do a roll-off. 1d20, highest number wins, as their catch comes in just half an inch longer than their competitor. Once the winner is declared, prizes are doled out, and the entire village cheers for their new champion. Win or lose, your players can return to the Bait and Tackle Tavern to either celebrate their triumph or wash away their sadness. And that will be the end of this quick quest. Thank you so much for watching this quick quest. I hope you got some inspiration that you can use in your own games. If you do end up running the contest for your party, or if you have suggestions for how to make it even better, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like is always appreciated, and you should consider subscribing to the Bards College. I make videos like this one, all about D&D and DMing, so if you want to see more, stick around. But for now, good luck, and remember, crit your players.